Hey, this is the video that I've been talking about for months. My very first grading submission, and I chose to do it with SGC. So today I'm going to share the results, the good, the bad, and the disappointing. So I chose to submit with 5-star cards, and I'm going to drop the info there. So you can check out 5-star cards. They are on Facebook. The link is right there, facebook.com/groups/5-star cards. You can mail those cards in. There is a Facebook group you can join and you can check them out. So, 5-star cards has been setting up at the Madison Card Show for the last several months now. And I have a collection of pre war cards that I've been picking up in my Chicago Cubs collection. And many of them are raw, and I would like to get them slabbed just for authentication purposes. So I dragged my feet, and finally, I told Matt from 5-star Cards, I am going to submit some Cubs cards with you through SGC. Now, when I did this submission over the summer, it was about $25 per card. And it's since dropped. I think the sub prices are now through 5-star $19. Of course, you can go to their Facebook group, 5-star cards. Check them out on Facebook. So I am live. I couldn't figure out how to record a video on StreamYard, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going live. So what's up, Something Sports Cards? What's happening? So we're talking about my very first my very first grading submission. I submitted 5 cards with 5-star cards. By the way, they will also be this weekend at the Midwest Premiere. It's a 250 table card show at the Indoor Sports Center, Loves Park, Illinois. That's this Saturday and this Sunday. Hope to see you there. If you're in the area, you can drop your cards off for submission to 5-star cards. They have discounted rates, bulk rates for both PSA and SGC. I'm not sure if I'm going to submit this weekend or I may wait until next weekend at the Madison Card Show, but 5-star will be at the Midwest Premiere this Saturday and Sunday in Loves Park, as well as the Madison Card Show next Saturday, October 22nd. What's up, Brian? He is here for the historic moment. How do you get an SGC hat? Here's the funny thing. The SGC hat I picked up at the National in must have been 2021. And I wear it all the time to card shows. And we talk about grading, and sometimes dealers will talk about grading, and they're like, yeah, I love SGC. I'm like, oh, I love SGC. And then they're like, yeah, because you're wearing the hat. And I'm like, actually, I've never subbed. Now, I can wear it proudly because I've actually given SGC some money through submissions. They were giving the hats away at the National. So that's how I got my SGC hat. John says the more prices drop on subs, the less motivated I am to sub. That's an interesting take. I am interested in subbing because when they're cheaper, because these are just for my personal collection. So I've only subbed 5 cards, and we're gonna do the unveiling here live this afternoon. And these are my Chicago Cubs personal collection. I don't care how much I paid for the grading. I don't care if it adds value or not, because they're just for my collection. Now, of course, I want my cards to go up in value, but again, it's I'm not in the market to sell these anytime in the future, in the foreseeable future. So I like the fact that grading prices are dipping. And I think I'll save an extra $6, so I'll be able to get an extra sub for my money now with the cheaper prices. Kyle really likes the SGC slabs. That's what I'm saying. I really like the tuxedo look, especially on the pre-war cards. I wish I had one of the most recent pickups. It's in a CSG slab, and it just looks terrible. It's a Joe Tinker, or no, it's a Frank Chance T206, and it looks terrible. I want to crack it and send it to SGC. So Something Sports Card says the more PSA drops, the more motivated I am to sub to SGC. LOL, fast turnaround. Exactly. I subbed with 5-star cards. Check them out. They're on Facebook. If you're not in they're based out of the Milwaukee area. If you're not in Wisconsin, you can send those cards in like any other bulk subber that is online. I did that. It's super easy. Super easy. Just filled out the paperwork. They take care of it. Now, I don't know the ins and the outs if you're sending them in via the mail, but I can tell you if you drop them off at a show like this weekend, the Midwest premiere at the Indoor Sports Center in Loves Park, Illinois, 5-star will be on site. You can drop your cards off, fill out the paperwork. You don't pay. You pay when you pick up. And if you're in this area, the next show when they're ready again, it's a fast turnaround with SGC. So in a few weeks, they're likely back in possession of 5-star. And so say you dropped them off at the Madison Card Show next weekend, October 22nd. Drop them off in Madison for the November 19th Madison Card Show. They'll be back, and they will bring them to the Madison Card Show the next month. Or you can probably pick them up sooner or make arrangements to get them sooner. So check it out. 5-star cards, group submissions. That's their Facebook page. Something Sports Cards says, well, CSG is owned by an investment group headed by Fanatics, so it may be the long play. John says, upcharge, limits on values, membership, too many caveats, BVG back in the mix, too many options, screw PSA. I am not a PSA fan. I am not a PSA fan. I'd probably wear their hat. I'm a shill. I'd wear the hat. But no, I've obviously I've only subbed one time, and it was through SGC. Let's see. John says CSG best slab for sure. I'm like Bo in that I only slab my collection. I do have some CSGs in my collection. Like I said, the Frank Chance T206, it's terrible. I hate it because tobacco cards just don't look good in clear slabs. But I have some like full-size cards. I've got some I have some Ernie Banks in CSG slabs, and they're okay. And then I have some a couple modern cards that I bought during the big wave of mass grading. So I'm not. They do actually, and I didn't think this would be the case talking about CSG slabs. The thing was, people would say, well, they look better in person. It's like those green labels, they look ugly. Now they have black labels, so that's more enticing for me. But I did, when I held them in my hand, I'm like, these are really nice slabs on the full-size cards. So that's my thoughts. So let's, without further ado, let's stop rambling and let's get to my submission. So here's how I'm going to lay these cards out. It was good, bad, and disappointing, my results. Again, I submitted 5 pre-war Chicago Cubs cards for my own collection. I used 5-star cards, group submissions, and I subbed with SGC. So I'm going to start with kind of what I was expecting, because I had 2 cards that I expected the grades on. I had 1 card that I was very happy with the results, and then I had 2 where I was extremely disappointed. So that was disappointing and bad. So let's start with this. This Joe Tinker received a 1, which is actually pretty good because it did get a number grade. This is a T205 gold border Joe Tinker. I bought this at the 2021 National in Chicago in Rosemont. And I think I paid $100 for this Joe Tinker. I think the sticker price was $125, and I offered $100, and the dealer took it. So Joe Tinker T205 gold border, and it did receive an SGC 1. So it did get a number grade. So I was pretty happy with that, and I thought it would get a 1, as opposed to an authentic, and it's got a nice clean back as well. You can see that. So there. So that was card number 1, the Joe Tinker T205 gold border in an SGC 1. Second card, another T205, Ed Ruhlbach, This one also received a number grade of a 1. So Ed Ruhlbach, again, a T205 gold border. And to be honest with you, I can't remember where I bought this. This could be an eBay pickup. So this possibly an eBay pickup. So this is Ed Ruhlbach. And again, it received an SGC1. So I'm glad John just mentioned this in the comments. Tough to get anything more than a 1 on that set. Oh, okay. So this is you're talking about the T205. So yeah, this is a tough set. But I do want to transition into a higher number grade. What's up, Ed? Good afternoon to you. So those were the two that I was expecting. I was expecting 1s on those 2 cards, and that's what happened. Now this, I was also expecting a 1, and I have come to love this set. Whenever I see them at a good price, I'm looking to pick these up, and I was very, very happy with the results on this. The T202 Hassan trifold set from 1912. So this has portraits of James Archer and Ed Ruhlbach, and a sliding Johnny Evers. These are beautiful cards, and look at that grade, a 3. I was thrilled with a 3 on this. Absolutely, positively thrilled. I think I paid $75 for this card, and I think this was an eBay purchase also. I bought this raw on eBay for like $75. Beautiful card. I absolutely love this set. I think I have 5 of these Cubs Hassan trifolds, and I was just absolutely extremely pleased with receiving a 3 on this Hassan trifold. So again, that's Ed Ruhlbach and James Archer on the corner in the portraits, and then a sliding Johnny Evers. So very happy. Very happy. So those were the good. There's 2. Wah, wah. Here comes the bad. Actually, I should have saved the good for last. I should have saved the good for last, but I didn't. I saved the bad for last. So this is a card. This is a T206 Joe Tinker that I received in a trade several years ago, maybe 4 years ago, early on in my 1 Million Cubs project, collecting Cubs cards. And the person who traded it to me said, I'm pretty sure it's legit, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is legit. It looks, the front of it, and I've pulled it out, and I just don't know. So here I've got it out of the plastics. It kind of looks funny. The front, but the back looks legit. The back looks legit. It looks like it was glued into a scrapbook, but it does look legit. But the front, there's something off about the front that I don't like. But the back looks legit. The back does look legit. So this came back. They did not slab, obviously, they did not slab this. So this came back a no, cannot, do not grade. The explanation was there was too much paper loss. So too much paper loss on the back. I was okay. Like I was 50-50. Even when I submitted with Matt at 5-star, I said, this is one where I'm not like, I just want, I want to sub it. What back was it? I have no idea. You can't even really tell. It's completely, the only thing you can see at the bottom, factory number 42, 4th district. I mean, the very bottom is all that's left. Everything else is just completely torn off. So I don't know which back that was. It says Sweet Caporal when SGC, but I don't know if there's a way to tell if that was a Sweet Caporal. So this was a result that I was kind of expecting. It's like if it's legit, and if this was actually something that I thought would get authentic. If they did slab it, it would just get an A for authentic because there was so much paper loss. So this was one where it was like, it was disappointing. I would consider this, I would categorize this result as the disappointing. This last one, this is the bad, because I was really upset that this was not slabbed. Take it out. It's just, it's so paper thin. It's a Cracker Jack. The 1914 set. This is technically not a Cubs card. This is the Federal League. It's part of my Joe Tinker collection, though. It's a 1914 Cracker Jack Joe Tinker with the Chicago Federal League team, which opened Weigman Park, which later became known as Wrigley Field in 1914, April 1914. So this is a beautiful card, but you can kind of see there's tearing right in the center of the card, like right down his face, into his shoulders. You can see it a little bit there on the back as well. So again, this got a cannot do not grade because it was too brittle. So this was, I was really disappointed because I did buy this on eBay, and I paid quite a bit for it. So I'm really disappointed that this was not slabbed. Again, this was a card that I thought, due to its condition with that tear in the middle, that this might get an A grade. I was hoping, I just want it slabbed. The numbers, I don't care. I was happy with that 3 on the Hassan Trifold. But really I just wanted these slabbed, and basically for authentication purposes. And I do know this is definitely a legit, authentic Cracker Jack card, but it is brittle. There's that tear, so they were not comfortable with the slab process on that, and I'm a little nervous putting it back in that card saver. So those were the results. My very first grading submission to SGC. Thanks to Matt and the guys at 5 Star Cards. If you're looking for a group subber, check them out. They're on Facebook, 5 Star Cards group submissions. Again, my Joe Tinker Cracker Jack came back too brittle. They would not slab it. Same with the Joe Tinker, too much paper loss on the back of this T206. I was really happy with the Hassan Trifold, the Ed Rulebach, James Archer with Johnny Evers sliding in the middle, received an SGC 3. Extremely happy with that result. And then I got ones on a pair of T205 gold borders, the Ed Rulebach and the Joe Tinker. So I do have a few cards. I'll probably do, I may even do 10 for my next go round, whether it's this weekend or next weekend. So that's the plan, is to sub 5 or 10 more of my pre-war Chicago Cubs cards. John says, sounds like SGC got the cards on a Friday afternoon. Yep, we ran out of time. We don't want to slab these. So maybe I'll wait 6 months and try it again, because it's no charge. These, since they weren't slabbed, there's no charge. Ed says, by not slabbing A, are they saying they can't authenticate? I don't think so. I think the reason they cannot do not slab is because of the press process. They don't want, because the cards are so brittle, they fear that the pressing of the slab will damage the card during the process of slabbing. So that's what I have been told, and I've heard that from various people, that if they come back a little too brittle like that, the paper loss on the back, I'm not sure, but I do know with the Joe Tinker it was definitely too brittle. And I know that's why they won't slab even in A, because of it's the whole slab process. So the Joe Tinker could be the same, because that with all that paper loss on the back, it's a really, like, half the card is really thin, really super paper thin, thinner than paper thin. So that's why it's the actual process of slabbing that they won't. So that is the results of my very first submission. Baseball card curmudgeon. Just show off, if you did not see my Joe Tinker Cracker Jack was not slabbed. It was deemed too brittle for the slabbing process. Same with the Joe Tinker T206. But I received an SGC1 on this T205 Gold Border Ed Rulebach, a 1 on the T205 Gold Border Joe Tinker, and was very happy with my 3 on this Hassan Trifold. Kyle says, resubmit a different set of eyes, make great authentic next time. That's kind of my thought process, is wait 6 months and maybe they'll tempt fate and put it through this slab process and put an A on those, hopefully. So, because I would like them slabbed just for authentication purposes. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Again, 5-star cards, they will be set up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at the Midwest Premiere. It's a 250 table show, Loves Park, Illinois, at the Indoor Sports Center. It's Saturday and Sunday this weekend, 15th and 16th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there's also a trade night after the show on Saturday at the bar restaurant, which is inside the building just above the show floor. So that will be open during the show. So looking forward to that as well. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, and I'll keep you posted on when I submit my next submission to SGC through 5-star cards. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, Hobby Evolution airs tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. It's the Friday free-for-all, so who knows what we'll talk about in the chat tomorrow morning. With that, I bid you adieu. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.